Rachel Zegler is back in the news because her PR team is working overtime right now to fix her image because so many of these resurfaced video clips of her just make her look really, really bad.
Now, the interesting part of the situation is that because of the strikes, she literally can't correct the record or make an apology video because it would require her to talk about the movie, and you can't. The rules are you can't talk about any of the projects you're on, whether it's positive or negative. So I guess her PR team decided we're going to resurface an old apology video that she did.
Resurface.
Quote unquote, resurface it and get Entertainment Tonight to post it for us in a propaganda piece with a soft piano track in the background.
Let's listen to it.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Huge Disney fan like all of you. This is the
I never want it to come off as me being ungrateful for the opportunities I have. When I tell you that it's hard, I just mean to be inside my brain. And I'm there 24/7. I can't get out of it.
As a huge Disney fan like all of you, this is the biggest dream come true I could possibly imagine for myself. Thank you all for making it possible and being excited.
Rachel, this is your second film.
I know.
How do you describe that experience?
Oh, it's so weird and like not okay. No pun intended, lightning struck twice for me. I feel like the luckiest girl in the world.
It is just ridiculous. I can't believe this is my life. I can't every day.
17 years old, a junior in high school. You send in this casting tape, and then you're cast as Maria.
I got it. I'm like looking around and there's this huge poster of my face and I'm like, who is that? I still can't process any of it.
I am the most grateful person alive, but I'm also keeping it real.
So all of the comment section is saying like her PR team was on it. This switch up is wild. The PR team is working overtime on this one. This was strategic.
Yep.
This is not from a recent apology video, guys. This is old, and I had never seen it before. Let's watch the full version of it from John Ford on Twitter.
Actually, I have it from Chris Bertman here on Twitter, who who had some choice
Mr.
words
Burt
for.
reposted it.
forgot.
Here we go.
Video is gonna get taken out of context, and I know that at this point I can't really stop people from doing that because that's what my whole existence on the internet is just me being taken out of context and stuff, which is fine. That's what I signed up for, isn't it? But I never want it to come off as me being ungrateful for the opportunities I have when I say that this has been the biggest adjustment of my life, like understanding the way my life operates now, being who I am, and the things that I've been so fortunate to make. It comes with so much ground. So much ground that I never thought I would be able to cover, and that people think I'm doing poorly and other people think I'm doing gracefully, and I don't think I'm doing it at all. So when I tell you that it's hard, I just mean to be inside my brain. That's hard. And I'm there 24/7. I can't get out of it. And I don't know if that will make sense, but that's where I'm at. I'm so grateful for the things that I'm able to do, and a lot of what I'm able to do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're grateful too.
Yeah. I'm the most grateful person alive. Did you know that?
I can tell, actually. I can tell.
Here we go.
I can't watch this and not feel like she's acting a monologue for an audition tape.
She's that good.
Continue.
She's got, crazy
And I'm
actress syndrome.
so unbelievably thankful for that.
Thank you,
At the end
guys.
of the day, I look at this trip and think, if somewhere like that can exist, and so can my tiny pink bedroom from New Jersey, I can also be having the greatest time and simultaneously wishing people would stop sending me death threats. And maybe that's a weird takeaway for this video. This is a life. This is real. It's filled with a lot of beautiful moments and beautiful people. I have a
Wait,
loving
somebody had to cut
family.
that in there. So this isn't even like a single video.
Yeah.
Like,
It's a cinematic masterpiece.
An incredible boyfriend that I love so much. Beautiful friends and family, people that I miss. It's a privilege to miss people the way that I do. But it's hard. And it's lonely. It's very lonely. I just know that if that loneliness can exist, so can other things, and I will be okay. Maybe that's a weird takeaway. Regardless, this is not supposed to be anything other than...
I wonder how her co-star, who she basically laughed at for possibly getting cut out of Snow White, would feel if he gets cut out of it and she's like, that's Hollywood, baby.
It's Hollywood. It's showbiz.
That's showbiz,
But you don't
baby.
miss people like how
So
she misses
she's
people.
humble,
Yeah.
right? The lie detector determined that was a lie.
Yeah.
Yeah. So her PR team decided to strategically put this out there on social media to repair her reputation. And again, I just can't watch this without feeling like I'm watching an audition tape for a cheesy Disney sitcom.
Yep.
I'll stick with Jenna Ortega as my favorite Gen Z Latina actress.
I just want to keep dunking on her.
Yes. Okay. So her response continued in a more indirect way. She tweeted, I love you very much forever and ever. Remember to be kind. Treat each other with patience and empathy. Remember that you are loved unconditionally, no matter your mistakes, no matter your misunderstandings. You deserve it. You deserve love. You deserve to live without fear. I hope the world becomes kinder. You first.
It's just a bunch of buzzwords.
It
First of all, she doesn't live her beliefs, or she doesn't live her words. She doesn't act with kindness. She acts with sarcasm and rudeness. So I guess it's there's also
she literally retweets things like "men are so disgusting."
There's
blah blah blah.
There's an argument to be made that in the world, like what duality of man, right? You can be simultaneously a dick sometimes and nice to people other times. That's part of
you can be a dick and hope that other people are nice to you, but not ever be nice to other people.
But I'm saying that I'm sure the people that love her friends and family, she's plenty nice to them. That's not what matters here. What matters here is perception. Who she actually is actually has little consequence on any of this. How she's perceived by the world, that's what matters.
Right.
And how she's perceived by the world is not good because she hasn't been able to escape these interview clips, which show a clear disdain for the company she works for, a clear disdain for the story in which she's been hired to help portray and tell, and a clear disdain for various people of different ethnic and racial groups, because she talks about identity politics from time to time. We did see her. She cosplayed she went to
She
AOC
literally did a cosplay of AOC
for Halloween
in 2019. Like, and I thought that I was like onto something, saying this girl gives me AOC vibes, but she adopted those herself. Like, she's probably AOC's biggest fan because she's really adopted those same mannerisms.
So who she is really has little bearing on any of this. At the end of the day, Disney doesn't care who she really is. Disney cares who the world thinks she is.
Also, every time that a celebrity gets like one DM that says KYS, they're like, I'm getting death threats. Someone save me, but not a prince. Don't
anybody but a prince.
Don't you dare save me.
She's like, I'm getting these death threats, and the cops were like, well, save yourself. Like,
yeah, you're a girl
I saw
boss,
that.
aren't you?
I saw that interview. Save yourself. You'll be fine.
And also, Daily Mail released this exclusive. Branding experts warn that Rachel Zegler backlash could ruin Disney's Snow White remake, and they predict that executives will be having crisis talks in order to win fans back ahead of its release.
Will they be having crisis parties? That's the real question. They should be having crisis parties.
Are all of our talks crisis talks?
Yes, they are. Like, at the end of the day, perception is what matters. I've been rewatching. I watch White Collar like a couple times a year. It's my favorite show of all time. And there's this great episode where Neil goes undercover working for a political campaign, and he makes a story up out of thin air to help like distract from this candidate being taken out of the race. And he says, in today's world, rumor is truth. Perception drives reality, and that really is true. What she actually is doesn't matter here. What matters is that these are the clips that go viral, and Disney loves to lean into it as a viral marketing tactic to say, like, look, if you don't go watch this movie, you're racist. If you don't go watch this movie, you're sexist. The outrage marketing technique is something they actively try to use. And it's not going to work here. This isn't like, she doesn't have the ability to spin it the way Halle Bailey did. Halle Bailey, at the very least, it seemed like, as we talked about several times, it seemed like the media was pushing it upon her more.
Yeah, every time that Halle Bailey went into an interview to promote The Little Mermaid, which she was allowed to do before the strikes, they asked her the same questions, like, tell us more about how it feels for everyone to hate you because you're black and you're playing Ariel.
Yeah.
And all of the questions were leading questions like that she handled, for what it's worth, pretty well, pretty diplomatically. And she seems like a nice girl. Doesn't give off nearly the same, like, bracing, abrasive vibe that Rachel Zegler puts off in all of her interviews.
She still had her fair share of dumb comments, but somehow it was less.
She made dumb comments, but not outwardly malicious comments.
Yeah, this is someone whose comments aren't coming from a sense of grounded moral beliefs. It's just trying to say the right thing, and so therefore it comes off as smug. It doesn't make sense, and when she gets any backlash or flack from it, she's like, okay, I'll say whatever you want me to say. What's the right thing to say, you know?
It is also weird that the conversation, it seems like every time there's a discussion now about a celebrity, a female celebrity, it comes back to looks, because now like everyone on the internet was
is
like,
Rachel
she's
Zegler
mid.
mid?
I'm like, she's pretty.
Yeah, she is really pretty.
She's pretty, she's just annoying.
This is why it became a debate about Brie Larson and whether Brie Larson is mid. Like, we don't need to argue about that. We know that she's pretty. It doesn't matter. We're talking about her
very
It's like
personality.
pretty.
Megan Fox. It's like Rachel Zegler is trying to come off as that funny hot girl too. It's like you could just be pretty and be a good actress.
Bertman
You don't have
disagrees.
to have hot takes.
Wait, are we talking about Brie Larson or
Oh, either.
this chick right here?
Yeah.
She's all right.
I love it. I love it. I'll get a $20 one there from Unusable Alpaca.
The football player was projected to be a top draft pick, so he was being researched, and there were rumors that he was gay. I believe he played for Notre Dame. He was supposed to be super religious. That's why it was a big deal.
Okay, that makes sense, especially I guess if he played for Notre Dame.
But if he thought that the catfish was a woman,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that makes sense, right? Or was the catfish a man?
I think the catfish was a woman.
Like presenting as a
Maybe-
man.
What?
I changed my mind. I just saw the picture of her as Snow White. She looks like Skeletor.
So worse than mid.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's got that look.
She's
Yep.
I think she's really pretty.
I think she's pretty. Like I look at all these photos.
her
and I'm like,
problem. Like her looks are the least of her problems.
I don't
is
look
what my
objectively at
opinion
these
is.
things. So whenever somebody brings up these questions of like, and it's not the right way to do this because it's not fair. But whenever people are like, how do you feel about this person's looks? I'm like, look at me. Like I'm not like you don't throw stones in glass houses, my friends. I'm not doing that. So it's fine. She's very pretty.
But speaking objectively, like, yeah, that's why she's in Hollywood. It's just her personality isn't helpful.
I wonder if this is going to help. What's interesting is it seems to only be affecting, and it is story relevant here because she's also going to be in the Hunger Games sequel or the new Hunger Games.
Yeah.
Nobody's talking about
What,
it ruining
remake
that.
or-
Yeah, it's a prequel.
It's different, right? Because the Hunger Games source material was created in the 2000s
But that's what I'm
rather
saying.
than in the 1930s. So she doesn't get to dunk on it for the same reasons that she can dunk on Snow White.
That's my
She'll
saying is
figure
that
it
the
out.
comments people are
She'll
making,
find a way.
Well, now that it backfired so bad.
it disproves their counter argument, which is that you're just a racist, sexist, homophobic, this or that. It proves that people are story or situation specific, meaning that they're not mad at her because they're mad at her because they race swapped the character, but they're also mad at her because of the disrespect she seems to be showing the material she's been hired to work on. If she's not doing that for the previous story, they don't have a reason to be mad at her for that. Now, will it affect ticket sales for that? I don't think so.
No.
They could have also just hired her and not pointed out that it is like a race swap or anything like that, and just said we just decided to go with this actress. She was the best for the role. And
Well,
then
that's
if
what they
they
people don't
claimed
buy
with
that.
Holly Bailey,
Yeah.
but obviously we don't buy that. Like, at least maybe you weren't looking for a minority to cast, like, from the get-go, but it definitely gives them a leg up.
But it's also,
compared
but
to-
it's also one of those things where they stacked a bunch of problems on top of each other, meaning that not just her casting, not just her comments and behavior, the dwarves
stacked them like
the-
dwarves in a trench coat.
exactly like
they know what
they didn't keep the dwarves. Peter Dinklage made a fuss. This project has been
a
in a lot of
formula.
ways doomed from the beginning.
it's drawn a lot of attention though.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, we went to see The Little Mermaid, and neither of us thought it was awful. It was
No.
like there was stuff.
I said it was just as predictably mediocre
Yeah.
and corporate as you would expect, and that's fine. And Holly Bailey seems like a likable girl. The race swap was super politicized and unnecessary, but it's Disney. What are you gonna do?
Tacty Platty says, "Oh God, don't give this movie money, bro. It's part of the like." People were saying that to me on Twitter earlier because we were talking about going to see Blue Beetle. They're like, "Stop giving these people money." I'm like, "Dude, it's part of the job. I'm not." They're
Us
like,
not buying tickets isn't gonna stop
Yeah.
them from making trash
Yeah.
movies.
but the
Like we're $20 short of our budget.
they're like you can talk about the movie without going to see it. I'm like, but if I'm going to comment on the actual
Yeah.
movie,
Disney is going to be like, damn, we were thinking about doing another race swapped live action remake, but then Brett and Mary didn't go to see the last one, so let's just table that.
all white characters from here on out because the the channel.
You guys
over
are selfish
there.
for going.
Yes, exactly. It's our fault. It's,
Yeah,
it really
see,
is.
everything would be fine.
Do these
back
types
to
of
normal.
things feel like that? Can you think of an example where the outrage marketing has actually worked to their advantage? Because I was thinking about this earlier. If every one of these studios wanted to actually make money, now I can actually give you the formula they need to do. Slash your budgets by 30% minimum, right? Then you do everything in your power to make the media hate your movie. You do everything in your power to make your movie Sound of Freedom or Joker. Because people come out for movies that they can't figure out why the media hates
The
it.
media hated Joker or Sound of Freedom because they were cool and based.
Yeah, but I don't know if everybody knew that. My dad went to see Joker. My dad didn't go to the movies
I feel
that
like it has
often.
to happen naturally.
Like
Based.
a lot of people go to see the movies because it's a spectacle at that point. They're wondering like, why are they making such a big deal out of this?
The outrage for Barbie didn't kick in until after it was already released. But I think that people debating like, was Barbie feminist, definitely made people more interested to go see
it.
for themselves.
Yeah, perhaps. By the way, I saw I am Knuff hoodie.
And you considered it.
I'm thinking it's a tie-dye hoodie that says I am Knuff, and I'm thinking I might buy it.
Because you're Knuff.
I am Knuff.
Treat yourself. You're Knuff. Francisco Sanchez Jr. said, I have a reason to be mad. Gal Gadot should have been Sleeping Beauty while Leslie Jones could have played the witch.
Yes!
That would be
They would have
hilarious.
gotten Melissa McCarthy to do it.
The Sleeping Beauty is blonde, isn't she?
She is.
I don't think Gal Gadot should play her.
Yeah, but that other lady should play the witch.
Leslie Jones.
I would.
Leslie
Yeah, I would
Jones.
back that.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.